Welcome everybody. Today we are going to be playing Farming Simulator 22, but we're going to leave it for right now. Since we've now taken up all of our straw, all of our bales off this field, we're going to go ahead and pick up our cultivator, because now we are ready to cultivate this field. And we'll go ahead and lower it. Oh, let me back up a little bit. There we go. And we'll let one of our AI workers take care of this one for us. We're going to just go ahead and hot swap over to our seeder here. And we're going to just drive back over this way. And we'll switch over to our Massey Ferguson with the trailer. We're going to check our settings real quick. I think I have crop destruction turned off. I think that's standard on easy, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably should have checked this to begin with. So if we go to our game settings here, we've got our economic difficulty on easy, we've got traffic on, seasonal growth is on. We're going to go ahead and leave that. 1 day per month. Fixed visual means basically in the winter we will be seeing snow, we'll be seeing changes in seasons. Snow's on, crop destruction is on. We're going to turn that off. Crop destruction being on means if we have crops and we drive over them, we're going to destroy them. But for right now in this playthrough, we're going to turn that off because honestly, if you're starting, turn it off. And if you're just starting out, turn all this stuff off too. Turn off your field stones, your lime, and your weeds. We're going to leave them on just so that we can go through them and show you what we need to do. It defaults with periodic plowing off. We're going to go ahead and turn it on. That way, we'll be able to show you what you have to do with plowing when you need to plow. Dirt, if you're starting out, turn it down. It's going to change how quickly your machines wear down as well. I know it just says the speed they become dirty, but it will affect the actual wear on them too. Engine starting, braking on, cool trailer fill limit. I mean, that might have helped with our truck, but I think that only affects trailers. We're also going to leave it off because that means we can technically overload them and carry more than they should be able to carry. Fuel usage defaulted to low. We're going to leave it there for now. All you have to do to get fuel, though, is drive over to the gas station. All right. AI workers. This is where they really start costing some money. The way they are right now, where it defaults to everything being that they buy, they will replace anything they use. So when you have them seeding a field, they will buy seeds continuously every time they use seeds. So we're going to switch all these to off. That way, our AI workers are costing a little bit less, and we can kind of choose when to go buy fuel and seeds and fertilizer, as opposed to them constantly refilling it and costing more money each time that they're using it. We're going to take off our trailer here. Now that we've got all of our settings sorted out that I should have done before. We may have destroyed some crops over in this field, destroyed some area where they were planted. Not sure. We'll have to see if they still grow or if driving over them killed them all. Alright. We're going to go ahead and sell our header trailer here. Now, if you don't want to sell it, don't sell it. But all it does is that when you drive your harvester off to somebody else's field to harvest with, you hook this up to it, put the header on top of this, and you can drive along the streets. It does also help because of the fact that the AI workers will not drive through the streets with the header attached because it's too wide and unsafe. But we don't really have to worry about it being unsafe in this game. The most it'll do is cause a traffic accident, or a traffic jam, I should say. There is no damage that you get from hitting cars in here. The cars don't take damage, it doesn't cost you anything, so we're not really worried about it. I'm also not really planning on taking our harvester anywhere. Quite honestly, we might sell that harvester soon. Alright, so now that we are up here at the store, I love the starting farm is so close to the store and the gas station and everything you need, really. The sales points are a little bit further away, but that's okay. A little bit of a drive to those for how rare you are going to them, especially if you're harvesting some regular crops, you're good. I am going to detach that in our little square zone there, and we're going to jump out of our tractor. I just want to make sure we don't accidentally sell our tractor, so we're not leaving it hooked up or leaving the tractor in that zone. We come over and hit our vehicle options menu here. We're going to get almost 900 bucks from selling it. Not bad. If we sold it through our sell menu back by our actual farm, we're going to get a little bit less. $900 really isn't that much of anything either, but when it's not doing us any good, we can spend that $900 on AI workers or some stuff we'll actually need. And we're going to head back to the farm. Now, we really don't have much else to do right this second. We've got our AR worker cultivating that field. We're going to have to seed that field as well. But we're not really going to be seeding it until they're done cultivating it. Ah, he's almost done. Maybe we'll go ahead and start seeding. You can have multiple workers on the same field working at the same time. So if we switch back over to through all of our tractors, get back to our seeder here. We're going to just do this one as grass too. Now, I promise I'm going to try not to do everything as grass. But since these two fields are basically connected, almost the same field, if we do these two as grass, which I know the other one is canola right now, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to reseed this field as grass. Oh, I switched off the grass. Alright, we're going to reseed it as grass. We're going to go ahead and lower our seeder, turn it on, and we're just going to set an AI worker to it. We're going to jump out because we really don't need it. We don't need to deal with it. It's going to be fine. He'll take care of it all on himself. So we're going to have grass here. We'll have grass over here. And then right now we've got canola growing on that other field because it's what the tutorial wanted us to do. But we're going to just let it keep going. Now that we're kind of completely taken care of, we'll have to move our cultivator out of the way when he's done. But we've really got nothing else to do right now on our farm. But there's always something to do. We're going to check for contracts. If we go to our start menu and scroll up to our little contract tab here, we can see a lot of ways we can start making some money. We are going to go ahead and select our most expensive one up here. And we don't have a fertilizer right now. We'll probably end up buying one. We're going to need it at some point. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just hit Y to borrow the items and hit OK. So instead of driving all the way back over to the shop, we're going to go ahead and just swap through all of our tractors again because, yes, that lease tractor is going to count. The one downside is we probably don't have any fertilizer in here. We don't. So, go ahead and connect all of our tools. Go into the shop. And right. Where'd it go? Right here, under objects. We're going to go ahead over to, really doesn't matter what we take right now. Let's see what's the cheapest. Solid fertilizer, 1,000 for 1920. Fertilizer, 1,000 for 1820. Or we have pallets of liquid fertilizer. We can't use in this. Solid fertilizer. $1,400 for 750. Liquid fertilizer. Alright, so as we can see, our big bag is, I think, going to be the cheapest, $18.20. Yeah, our big bag is going to be the cheapest for the 1,000 at least. We'll go ahead and get a couple of big bags. You can also just scroll over to increase your size, but we'll do it the hard way just because. Now, they're all just sitting here. But all we got to do is drive up to it, and then we can click down on our left joystick, and we will fill up our fertilizer, or fill up our spreader with fertilizer. And we're going to just leave them here at the shop. We could rent or buy an attachment, pick up the big bags, take them back to our farm. But we're in single player. It doesn't matter if they just sit here at the shop. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple more fertilizer contracts. Because we already have one. And if we just accept the other ones here, it's going to let us keep using this equipment as long as we don't finish this contract we're on right now. I believe it only lets you do 3. Yep, it'll only let you pick up 3. So we've got our 3 contracts here that we're going to be fertilizing. So we'll do field 33 last just to make sure that we don't accidentally return this equipment before we can. We're going to be doing fields 50 and 54, which if we look down at our mini map is going to be off in this direction. And they're going to be pretty close too, which is nice. And crap instructions off, so we're not going to worry about driving through some other farmer's field. Alright. Now, it does take some practice and some time to figure out exactly how far the spreaders on these are going to go, but I'm pretty sure we're about close to being over at the edge. We're going to go ahead and turn it on, and we are going to have our AI take this over so that we don't have to do it. Yeah, we're missing the edge a little bit. Oh, no, we're casting out over the edge. The nice thing, too, is it doesn't have to be perfect 100% coverage. If there's a few little gaps here and there, they'll still let you collect on completion of the contract. Yeah, we might have to refill before we finish this one. We'll see. We'll definitely have to refill before the others. Alright. We're going to hop back to our farm here while our AI worker is off doing that contract. But we're definitely going to make enough off those contracts to pay for all of our AI workers. We're going to kind of just keep things nice and neat over here at the farm, though. And we're going to make sure that we drop our cultivator right over here. Okay. We'll put this tractor away. We really won't need him for a while. And we're going to move our trailer back over towards everything else too. And we're going to just kind of clean up around the farm here real quick. Get everything kind of put away. We might as well grab our harvester here and put it over into our garage. Might have miscalculated that a little bit. Alright. We will set down our header. And park in our garage. Our seeder's just about done. And you are just about done fertilizing. Alright, so we finished fertilizing, and that cost us about $500 for our worker to fertilize it. But that's okay, because we just made a few $1,000s off of it. I will say this is the other time where if you have AI set to buy the fertilizer and you keep renting out equipment, it can kind of help, because they won't have to, or you won't have to buy a pack of it and end up wasting any of it. Not that you're going to waste it anyways, because we're going to just unload it once we're done before we return it. But you won't have to worry about buying the big bags of it. You'll just take it over to the field, tell the AI to start, and they'll just automatically buy it. And just you're going to be buying whatever they pay. But you will save a little bit of money by doing your own right here. We're going to go ahead and fill up these other 2 bags, because we probably will use them all. And we're a little bit far from that one. Alright, let's go tackle these other 2 fields. Let's see, how far are we from them? We just did 54, we're going to have to do 50. And then we've got to come up and do 33. 33 we're going to do last. So, let's go get 50 going. Unfortunately, the other downside with the rented equipment is we cannot use it on our own farm. It's a little bit silly. We should be able to do the contract and use it ourselves, but they're trying to make sure that you just don't get to use a ton of free equipment, I guess, by doing the contract. Alright, we're going to cut through our farm here because 50 is going to be right behind ours. And we did turn off crop destruction, so we can just drive right over our field. And cut through right here. Alright, and we are going to turn it on. We're straighten ourselves out first, just so that we hire our AI worker here, they're not going in a weird angle. And they will go ahead and fertilize this field for us. Now, we're going to put away our seeder here real quick because we are done with it. And then we're going to redeem our other contract. So, we'll just go ahead and bring this back in line. Lower it. Disconnect it. And we are cleaned up. And if we go to our start menu and go back to our contracts, we now have field 54 completed. Like I said, that costs, I think it was like $418, $490. We're going to be making $3,000 off of the AI helper just doing it. We're going to go ahead and collect that one. And we'll go ahead and say we'll take field 61 to fertilize as well, because why not? We'll accept that contract, and as soon as we're done with field 50, we'll hit up 61, and we might skip the 2 smaller ones. Now, they all are smaller, so it'll cost less to do them, but we're only going to be making a couple $100 doing them. We'll see if it's worth the time. But I think that is a good place for us to stop right now. I think you probably have at least a little bit of a grasp on the start of the game here. In the next episode, we will show you guys how to go ahead and start mowing. We'll pick up a mower, mow it, and we'll see about either getting a baler or a forage harvester once we get there. It is going to take a few months before we're ready to mow, but we'll show you each of our growth stages and how we go along the way. You guys have a fantastic day. Happy gaming.